Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Final Siren podcast. I'm Noah, and today I'm here with David, Davos, and Faraz. Sadly, Lachlan was unable to make it today. He usually leads the news segment of things, but I will be leading it all today. We'll start off with the game reviews of this week of round 11. We'll start with the first game, Knights versus Broncos. The Broncos winning 36-12 against the Newcastle Knights. Big win for the Broncos. First, we'll go to David. What were your thoughts on this game?
Well, yeah, once again, the Broncos backed it up. 5 weeks in a row. That's 5 wins now on the trot. They now sit fifth on the ladder, I'm pretty sure. And, they're really starting to find their form. They should get another big win against the Titans this weekend, I predict. Very
true. We saw Faraz there with a big smile on his face. Faraz, are you happy about how your team's going?
Yeah, look, mate, 100%. Like, to win 5 in a row, that's pretty remarkable considering how the season was going beforehand. But look, good win for the Broncos going down to Newcastle. Not an easy trip without Adam Reynolds. They did the job really well. It was tight for a bit, but the class in the end, did it for them. And I don't want to see Phoenix Crossland playing again for Newcastle. That's right on Corey Oates. How dumb are you to leave that ball there? You can argue things aren't going the way and all that, but if you're not going to show any effort like that or just leave the ball like that, don't even play NRL footy.
Very true.
But congratulations to the Broncos.
Very true. We'll go to Davos next. What were your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, what a win by the Broncos. To be fair, I thought it'd be a scrappy affair. And it showed that early because the Knights, it was pretty competitive, but the Broncos just showed their class. How good was young Ezra Mam on debut? I thought he was a bit shaky early, but picked up his game, ended up with 2 try assists. So congratulations to the Broncos.
Yes, very true. Myself being a Broncos fan, I wasn't very convinced after the first half, 6-6 at halftime, but the second half, it was good to get away with a 24-point win and to catapult us right up near that top 4 spot, only just by, I think it's by 7 different 6 points differential from Cronulla. We'll go on to the next game, Tigers versus Bulldogs.
Well, can I also ask who was man of the match that game?
Man of the match, I think Selwyn Cobbo, got man of the match that game, and the 3 points of the Dally M tally as well. So excellent performance from him. He's found some real form heading into Origin period this year. We will go to the next game, Tigers versus Bulldogs. The battle of the bottom you thought it couldn't get worse from last week when Knights took on Bulldogs, and it didn't get worse. It got a little bit better, but not so much for the Bulldogs after sacking their coach, Trent Barrett, him walking away apparently. But losing to the Tigers 36-22, it wasn't a big defeat, but no improvement signs shown from the Bulldogs. Sure, they scored a few more tries, but nothing to write home about. First, we'll go to Faraz this time.
Yeah, look, after that Roosters win, honestly, I thought the Bulls were going on a mini run here. But look, just how things have gone drastically over the last 3 weeks. Losing to the Raiders when they were at their best, then you've got losing to the Knights. That's pretty embarrassing. So, but again, losing to the Tigers, I don't know what's going wrong for the Bulldogs. You can argue everything's going wrong. I do feel sorry for Adaka if they wasn't playing this game. I do feel for him. Going for someone like the Melbourne Storm to the Bulldogs, who are just struggling immensely. He's trying his heart out. Burton is arguably playing his best footy as well, but still they're not getting the results they want, do they? And the Tigers, it wasn't the prettiest of wins, let's be honest here. They led 18-0 and they kind of let it slip like that. Luckily, the sin didn't happen, which changed the momentum of the game. But, I guess at this stage of the season, the Tigers will take the win nonetheless. But, nothing to write much about this game.
Yeah, very true. Wasn't a great game from either team. Tigers probably a bit disappointed that they let it get that close in the end, considering they were leading at halftime, I think 18-0. To only go on to win 36-22 is it's a bit of speculation considering the Bulldogs actually outscored them in the second half. We'll go to Davos next.
Yeah, what a scrappy win by the Tigers. Like you said, they were leading 18-0 and then they kind of let the Dogs get back into the game. I won't lie, I was on the Alex Twal bandwagon for his first try in his 100th game, but unfortunately, it didn't happen, but, got to give credit where it's due. I thought Jackson Hastings was really good. So congratulations to the Tigers and their fans.
Very true. I have a few friends who are Tigers fans, and they were happy to finally get a win on the board, even if it is just against the Bulldogs. We'll go to David next.
Yeah, well, opposite for me, I've got a fair few Bulldogs fans down here in Sydney. I don't blame them for being disappointed in their team. I thought this game would have decided who wins the winners' win for me. I think, I mean, in that sense, I'm talking about where the two teams go for the rest of the season, and I think that game shows where each team will go. I don't think the Bulldogs are going to win many more games this year, possibly one or two more, but I don't really see it happening. For the Tigers, they could pick up a few more. But yeah, overall, probably two of the bottom teams this year.
Very true. I think the Tigers could take a bit of confidence from that and win a few more, get themselves out of the bottom four. But I don't see the Bulldogs moving past the spoon. I reckon they probably get the spoon this year. They battled it out with Newcastle. What else can you say? I mean, disappointing performances from them. So we went from the game of two teams who are currently low on the ladder to two teams that were battling it out for a top 8 spot so far this year. Eels versus Seagulls. Brilliant game, very close scoreline, 22-20. In fact, the closest scoreline of the weekend. Only 2 points in it, with Mitch Moses getting a clutch goal from the sideline to win it for Parramatta. First, this time we'll go to David.
I didn't expect that at all, to be honest. Such a close contest in the end. There was a controversial call at the end. The hit on, I think it was the Manly winger. I don't know how to pronounce his name. On the Parramatta winger, he slipped
Christian
into a tackle.
Tuipulotu?
That's him. Yep. And he slipped into the tackle of the Parramatta winger, and he did hit him high. But I thought, in the slippery conditions, it was just a tackle possibly gone a bit wrong. I don't know if a penalty was deserved, but yeah, at the end of the day, that's rugby league. But I thought that, it was a great game considering Manly had lost 38-0 the week before. But the loss of Tom Trbojevic will be, pretty bad for them, I think.
Yeah, we'll touch up on that a bit later. And yes, Christian Tuipulotu, it was a very controversial penalty. I think he didn't even get at the judiciary. He didn't get charged for the tackle, which should tell you something. But yeah, we'll touch up on the no Trbojevic a bit later in the news segment. We'll go to Davos next.
Yeah, I mean, this game I predicted the Eels to win 1-12, and they did, because I believed that the Seagulls would come out firing after they got absolutely thumped by the Broncos. But how good's Mitch Moses? I mean, I think that just proved that he's a top 5 halfback. Came in clutch, and congratulations to the Eels.
Very true. We'll go to Faraz.
Yeah, look, mate, I was expecting a Parramatta blowout, but that didn't happen. This game was deja vu. It was really good to watch for the whole 80 minutes up until that, really controversial call. Manly were always in it, unlucky for them. I think the Sean Kepi sin bin was the changing point. And I think towards the end that tackle, I think by the, who was it, the Manly winger again? What's his name?
Christian Tuipulotu.
Christian, yeah. For me, that was not a penalty. That was clearly taken out. That should be Manly ball. I do feel for them. In the end, they were outdone by the refs. But you can only play what's in front of you. And look, congratulations to the Eels. Wasn't the most convincing game, yeah, but they still found a way to win. And those 2 points are crucial. And I do feel for Manly, because it doesn't get bad from worse. Having Turbo out, and they've got the Storm coming up this week with no Tommy Turbo. Yeah, and that game was really a must win now. Them making the top 8 kind of does seem a bit far from distance where they really expected from. I had them as my top 4, but yeah, we'll have to see how they go towards this week with no Tommy Turbo.
A lot of people have them as their in their top 4 to start the season, me included. But it doesn't look like it'll be a good year for Manly fans if they keep going the way they're going, especially with their star fullback out for the rest of the season. And we'll touch on his Origin jersey a bit later, because Latrell Mitchell was set to be out, and he was set to be in as the other center, but now he's out. We'll touch up on that later. The next game, Dragons versus Warriors. This one was also a close game, with the Dragons clinching a win 24-18. Stuffed up my tips for the week, but we'll go to Faraz first this time.
Yeah, look, I wasn't really watching this game for the first half, because I was watching on my phone, hoping that the Dragons would somehow get a win, so I can go another tip right, so I can get to an 8 out of 8 potentially, which I did in the end. Congratulations to me. But look, It was a tight game as expected. Someone had to win. The Dragons, in the end, congratulations, they held their nerves. Wasn't really the most convincing win, but they'll take it at home at Cobra. I'm pretty sure the home fans love that, and that win keeps them in touch with the top 8.
Very true. It does. Congratulations to you, Faraz, on a perfect tipping round. Some people, such as myself, did not get one. So close. We'll go to Davos next.
Jesus Christ, Warriors fans, I actually feel sorry for you. Your team is actually trash. But in all seriousness, look, the Dragons just played better. But this game was like just so topsy turvy. Like there was one stage where the Warriors were on top. There was one stage where the Dragons were on top. But there was a point where I think the Dragons forwards didn't run for over like 60 meters, I think, and they still won. Oh my God! But congratulations to the Dragons fans, and it was a good win.
Very true. It was a good win for them. We'll go to David.
Yeah, it's always an interesting matchup when these two face each other. It's always pretty interesting to watch. I had the Dragons 1-12, so I did get that correct. I had Bird as my anytime try scorer looking back at it. Overall, I thought it was a bit of a scrappy game. Both teams definitely have improvements to be made. Whether it's a coaching issue or a playing issue, I do think both these teams aren't anywhere near top 8 material at the moment.
Very true. I think the Dragons, they're keeping in touch with the top 8, but the teams they've played against haven't exactly been top 8 teams either. And the Warriors very struggling quite a bit of recent times. Sadly, couldn't get the win. But we'll go on to the next game. Tipped by everyone who said it could be game of the round, and ended up being a blowout score. Cowboys versus Storm. The Storm 2 weeks in a row conceding 30 plus points and only scoring 6. We'll go to the Melbourne fan first this time, Davos.
Look, before I start my rant about the Storm, I just want to congratulate to the Cowboys and their fans. They were outstanding. You guys just showed that you're the real deal and that you're going to be a force to come with when it comes to finals time. But gee whiz, the Storm just didn't look like they gave a shit, to be honest. Like they just didn't work hard for each other. And look, I get it. We have outs, but you can't blame injuries on everything. The best teams, they have the next man up mentality. And we just said, who gives a shit? We'll just lose. But man, that was frustrating to watch as a passionate Storm supporter. But congratulations to the Cowboys. Very good win.
Yes, the Cowboys showing that they might have what it takes this year to make it to finals. I think for the first time since 2017, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously 2018 JT was there but out for a bit of the season and wasn't enough to keep the Cowboys in the running for the 8 that year. But the Cowboys, they look the real deal this year. As with the Broncos, you probably can't say they look. The Broncos probably don't look as good as the Cowboys just yet, considering the latter positions. But I mean, both Queensland teams are getting there, and as far as I'm concerned, they're the only 2 real Queensland teams that I care about. Faraz, what are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, mate. Look, seeing the Storm concede 36 points and losing by 30, that's not a typical thing to see in everyday life, and especially in NRL. But look, I think if this game does say one thing, it does say that, look, you can blame all the injuries Melbourne have. They had a whole spine out and then Harry got a halfback. But it does show that Melbourne don't really have the depth come forward. Because this season, with COVID and everything, if there is something that happens, like an injury or someone gets COVID, it does show that Melbourne don't really have the depth, and then they're relying too much on Jerome Hughes and Ryan Pappenhausen. And you clearly see how different the side looks without those two there. I mean, to be fair, you can any side without their halfback looks really, really, really different. But the Cowboys just turned it on at home. I think the Cowboys last minute. And I've got to say, Scott Dricker has been killing it. Some people might question, myself, that really you get a starting spot ahead of Hammer. But congratulations to him, he's been killing it. Ruben Cotter putting up his hand up for Origin once again, and good win for the Cowboys. They move equal second to the Storm.
Very true. As I said before, they've been really good this year. We'll go to David.
Yeah, the Cowboys really proved me wrong. You boys know that I thought the Cowboys would have been shown up this game, and I had Melbourne 1-12, but the Cowboys really showed them Yeah, I honestly believe that the Cowboys and Broncos could battle for the top four. I know it's a big ask for both teams, especially coming out of the bottom four last year, but I honestly think it's possible. Yeah, great win by the Cowboys. Not much else to say other than that.
Well, yeah, the Cowboys a complete change of attitude this year compared to last year. I think last year they finished second last. I could be wrong there. And Broncos finishing third last, and now the Cowboys tied for second on the ladder. And yeah, wow, it's a big improvement from both Queensland teams. And yeah, they'll be looking at competing for the top four. I think Cowboys look more likely at the moment, but however, I would like to see my Broncos move into the top four. We'll keep these last three. I'll channel my inner Lachlan here. We'll keep these last three games short and sweet. We'll go to Roosters versus Panthers. The Panthers winning 32-12. I saw this coming. I saw Panthers 13 plus coming, but yeah, some people didn't. Some people thought it'd be close. We'll go to David first this time.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that thought it would have been close. I still had Penrith to win, and they did in spectacular fashion. Rory Hargraves got sent to the bin, and that all but sealed a big win for Penrith.
Very true. We'll go to Davos.
Yeah, what a win by the Panthers. I thought Jerome Luai was really good in the Panthers win, and they showed why they're the best team in the comp. So congrats to the Panthers.
Good on them. Yeah, we talked about it last week, whether Jerome Luai was overrated or overhated. There was a bit of a mixed bag, those answers, but I think Jerome Luai is proving he's good in the sixth role. I'm still not convinced he can play halfback when Cleary is out, but we'll go to Faraz next.
Yeah, look, mate, the Panthers won convincingly. I thought it would be a tie game, but honestly, look, the Roosters didn't even play that bad. But for Panthers to win by 20, it does show that they're on a different league right now. And look, for Roosters fans, you do have to feel sorry. I don't think they played that bad, but just Panthers just on another level. Congratulations. These boys don't know how to lose, do they?
No, they don't. Only losing, I think they've only lost one game this season against the Parramatta Eels, and they were a bit off in that performance. I'm still not convinced. Some people were saying that proved Parramatta were premiership contenders. I'm not too sure about that. I think they can compete for the top four, but I think Penrith were a bit off that game. Not taking away anything from Eels. I still think they did good, but not quite convinced yet. We'll go to the second last game, Rabbitohs versus Raiders. And this one annoyed me for one reason in particular. I forgot to change my tip at the last second. I messaged you boys about that. And oh boy, I had a feeling Raiders were going to win, and I just didn't change my tip. And 20-point win, 32-12, exact same score as the previous game, Roosters versus Panthers. Both games 32-12 wins, and both teams dominated that game with the Raiders leading at halftime. I think it was 18-0.
It was 22-0.
22-0, was it? Yes. Yeah, big win from the Raiders. First, we'll go to David.
Yeah, it was a big win for the Raiders. I did see it coming. I did have the Rabbitohs though tipped, but yeah, I definitely did see a Raiders upset on the cards, especially after last week against the Sharks. They put on a big performance, also winning by 20. Yeah, I thought overall it was a great win for the Raiders, and they seem to be back on track.
Very true. That's 2 weeks in a row now. The Raiders have won by 20 and have put 30 points on an opponent. Both times very dominant performances. Both times being the away team at Suncorp. That's Magic Round. It's technically not home ground for Sharks anyway. But big performance from them. We'll go to Davos.
Yeah, what a game. I personally tipped the Rabbitohs like you know, but I forgot to change again. I personally just think that the Rabbitohs sorely miss Adam Reynolds. I don't know what the recruitment staff there or the management or whatever who controls their list and management, but Jesus Christ, why did you let Adam Reynolds go? But to credit to the Raiders, I mean, how good was Josh Papali'i and Tarpany? They were both workhorses in the middle, so congratulations. And by the way, congratulations to Papali'i on his 250th.
250 games, big milestone for Josh Papali'i. Brilliant game from the Raiders. They're starting to slowly climb up the ladder. We'll go to Faraz.
Yeah, before I say anything, it's good to see the footy back in Dubbo. But I think the Raiders upset here 13+. Some people call me crazy, but it happened. The Raiders dominated. Souths are looking on the radar ever since last year. And to the Rabbitohs management, why did you let Adam Reynolds go? You don't treat your favorite son like that, and they're paying the price badly for it. And there's a world now they could miss the top 8 now, and it's really disappointing to see, considering how high the Rabbitohs have come from the last few years. But congratulations to the Raiders, and congratulations to Big Papa Lee scoring meat pie in this 250.
Very true. The Rabbitohs only hanging on to the top 8 by a mere 34 points differential points in there. The Raiders being 9th and starting to climb the ladder. Great game from the Raiders. Disappointing from the Rabbitohs. I wasn't convinced last week, which is why I wanted to tip the Raiders, but I was happy that the Raiders were winning. Then I realized my tip, and we won't talk about that. We will go on to the final game of this round, which was Sharks versus Titans, and it started off a bit shaky for the Sharks, 6-all at halftime, and then at one point they had a 24-6 lead, I believe, and ended up being 25-18. Titans started to come back at the end there. I think the Sharks were happy that full time was called. We'll go to Faraz first.
Yeah, I was out of my house when this game happened, but I was looking at the game. It was tied in the first half 6-6. Titans looked at it show up. And then in the second half, I see it's 24-6. And I'm like, here we go. My 8 out of 8 sorted. And then I see 10 minutes left in the game. And the Titans, it's all of a sudden it's 18-24 and there's a game on our hands, But that's what happens when you lead. That's been the Titans this year. They've been letting too much of a big lead to come back from, But congratulations to the Sharks. They won another game here. But finally, they win away. And congratulations to them, I guess. Not the prettiest way to end the game, but they got the 2 points. That's what matters.
Very true. They did. We'll go to Davos.
What a great win by the Sharks. I mean, like Faraz said, I thought that I had my tips sorted, but then the Titans started to come back and thought I had a game on our hands, but Sharks just proved too classy. And big rap to Lachlan Miller on debut. 294 running meters. That is a whopping stat for a debutant, especially at fullback, one of the most important positions. And he just showed that, who knows? This guy could be an absolute gun for the Sharks, but he's already become a favourite son of mine. So, congratulations to the Sharks.
And that try as well.
Oh, that was classy.
Brilliant try. His stats here, 294 run meters, 9 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 1 try. He was brilliant on debut. I added him to my fantasy team. As soon as I heard he was named, I'm a big fan of what he does. I've watched his Australian sevens. Yeah, I've seen his Australian sevens highlights, and I was a big fan of him. As soon as I heard he was named, I was rushing to my fantasy team to add him in, and he didn't disappoint with 67 fantasy points, as I said before. We'll go to David.
Yeah, unfortunately I had work, so I couldn't watch this game, but I did watch over the highlights, and I was looking at the game as I was working. I was cheering on the Titans, even though they aren't exactly my favourite team, because so my team could stay in the top 4, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But I did tip Cronulla 13+. I thought it was going to be a whitewash, but no, the Titans proved me wrong. They only won by 7, Cronulla, but they looked a bit shaky towards the end. Once again, as you guys said, Miller was great.
They definitely did look very shaky towards the end. Sharks haven't quite convinced me they're a top 4 team yet. They looked decent to start off with, but the more longer the weeks go by, I'm not too convinced. I reckon they make the 8. I don't reckon they make the top 4. I think Storm are a certainty, even though they haven't been up to great standard of recently. Panthers are obviously I think they're pretty much a certainty for minor premiership. I'd lock in Cowboys at the moment, to be honest, with the way they're going.
Wow.
I think Broncos.
Surely they can't drop off.
I don't think if they keep up the way they're going, I don't think they will drop off. But I think battling for fourth spot will be Broncos and probably Eels. I don't really see Sharks winning when they come up against the better teams.
The Roosters have a tough draw. I think they'll still make an 8, but they've got a tough draw coming up.
Very
I
true.
still think the Chooks will be. I still think the Chooks will be in and around the top 4 though. I don't know where they do finish though. Depends on injuries and form, I guess. If they can stay consistent.
Yeah, definitely. We'll go to the news segment now. We'll start off with Herbie Farmworth. Just today he re-signed a 1-year deal with the Brisbane Broncos. Now I have a few questions for you boys. Only really short answers. We're running out of time here. First off, only a 1-year deal. Keep this to a 1-word answer. Would you want to have signed him for more? Yes or no? We'll go to David first.
Yeah, for sure.
We'll go to Davos.
100%.
And we'll go to Faraz.
Yeah.
Very true. I reckon, he should have been signed for more, but apparently I've heard he asked for a 1-year deal, and that's apparently because he wants to play fullback. I'm not sure how true those rumors are, but I think he has said it in an interview a few times. But we'll go to the next one. Trbojevic out for the season. Who plays fullback while he's gone? We'll go to David first.
Probably Ruben Garrick.
He does. He seems to be the Des Hasler's pick. What about you, Faraz?
Oh, that's a tough one. I'm not really sure who they can really put in, but I've seen sometimes that at some point they put Garrick at fullback, so I think they'll just go with Ruben Garrick at fullback because I think Sub's coming back soon, so probably slot Sub back on the wing. Very
true. And we'll go to Davos.
Yeah, I'd agree with the boys. I'd probably put Ruben Garrick at the back.
Very true. We'll go to our next question. We've got a few questions here. We'll try and finish it off strong. Dufty is set to go to the Super League, apparently. I'm not sure how true these reports are, but I'm guessing they are true due to the fact that that Bulldogs don't really seem to want Dufty. He hasn't been great for them this year. Who would you boys look for local talent that they have in the system to replace Dufty at fullback, or would you go shopping for a fullback? Keep in mind the only options you really have are Anthony Milford shopping wise, and you could possibly go Scott Drinkwater depending on whether or not he would be willing to move to New South Wales. We'll start with David.
Well, yeah, I do think they go shopping for a new fullback. If so, I'd go with Drinkwater. As you said, there's not really any other options on the market. I know they've got a great young star in Paul Alamotti. I don't know if you guys have heard of him. He actually went to my school a couple of years back, but he's a centre. I don't know how he'd go at fullback, but he could possibly do a job there. And you've got Josh Adokar on the wing, who did say he could play fullback for the Bulldogs if need be.
Yeah, I have a feeling he might be a good choice at fullback because he needs to get his hands on the ball more, and he seems to want to play fullback for the Bulldogs. We'll go to Davos.
Yeah, mine might be a little bit of a surprise. I've actually got Jake Averillo as the future fullback for the Doggies. I think his natural position is fullback, but I'm not sure. Oh, he can play at 6, but I don't know why the Dogs even played him at 7. You know, he's not a genuine halfback. But I think that he's a fullback, and I think he'll be the Dogs' long-term fullback.
That is a weird pick, but it seems to make sense when you put it like that. We'll go to Faraz.
Yeah, look, mate, honestly, I don't even think Milford should be on the list. Good luck if they do get him as a fullback. But, they probably have to go after Scott Drinkwater. I think he's from Sydney. Maybe he could move back for family. But, they've really got no one else to look at, to be honest. And, the Josh Adokar experiment, it doesn't really hurt to give him a try now at this stage of the season, does it?
Very true. At this point in the season, they've got nothing to lose. They're already heading for the wooden spoon. It would just be trying something else. We'll keep these other answers really short, or as Lachlan would say, short and sweet. Dynamis Louis signs with the Warriors after Lodge has just departed, been released from the Warriors. Where do you reckon Matthew Lodge ends up? We'll start with Faraz.
Matt Lodge, I don't even know where he's going to go, boys, to be honest. I don't know which NRL club would sign him up. It's tough, but I'd I'll probably say he's not going to be in the NRL after this, to be honest. I don't see which club would take him back. I certainly don't think the Broncos should take him back at all. But yeah, look, I don't got any specific club for you. Probably the Super League.
I think there's a big chance he might go Super League. We'll go to Davos.
Yeah, look, Lodge, I think, just took advantage of the Warriors. He knew that he wouldn't commit long term, and he just chose to sign with them anyway. That's just a dick move, in my opinion. But I think he'll end up at the Redcliffe Dolphins because I know that Wayne Bennett signed him at the Broncos, and he played well under Wayne Bennett. So I think that he might play well under the Dolphins.
Very true, and we'll go to David.
Yeah, I agree with Davos. I do think if he does stay in the NRL, if he does go to Redcliffe to play under Wayne Bennett, look, he's a solid player, but I don't really have much respect for him. I was happy to see him leave the Broncos, to be honest with you. He's still a decent player on his day. But yeah, leaving the Warriors for a reason like he did, I think, mid-season, it shows a bit of unprofessionalism from him.
I'm thinking maybe it's got to that point where everyone at the Warriors is starting to feel homesick or the potential of returning back to New Zealand with their families, how they can adapt to it. So I think that's a downfall for the Warriors this season as well.
Chanel Harris-Tavita leaving league to travel. What does this mean for his playing career? Well, this will be the second last question. We'll go to Davos first.
Oh, I really don't know, to be honest. Look, on his day, he's a quality player, but I think his kicking game needs improvement, and he's a very, very good defender for a number 7 or number 6. If I'm being honest, the only club I could really see possibly signing him is the Newcastle Knights. I think he'd be good there, and they need a halfback, especially the way Clune's playing. So I think he could end up at the Knights. Who knows?
Very true. We'll go to David next.
Yeah, I do think it'd be a quality utility for a lot of clubs. But I think once he's done with his break, he won't be playing another game in Warriors colours, I'd imagine. I'm thinking of a few clubs that could take him, and there's probably too many to list. But yeah, I think he still does have a future in rugby league, but I don't think he stays with the Warriors once he comes back.
Very true. And we'll go to Faraz lastly.
Yeah, look, I've heard a lot of people saying he's going to probably retire from this point. Yeah, it's tough. Look, depending on how serious the situation for him is because we can only assume from what we can say because we don't know what's going on in his personal life. But yeah, look, even if he decides to return back to the NRL, I don't see him being back in the Warriors. That's for sure.
That is true. I personally think he's sabotaging his playing career by leaving and taking a 1-year break to travel. He's getting to his prime age. But we will go to the final question of the episode before this outro. We would have more time to explain, but this one will actually keep quite short. Why isn't Tyrell Sloan being played? I mean, we'll go to Davos first. I know he has a lot to say about this.
Anthony Griffin, you are a fucking idiot. Why are you not playing Tyrell Sloan? He's one of the fastest players, and he's a gun and the future of the club. Come through the SG ball system, and you're not playing him. You're treating him like absolute shit. I can't say any more. I just hate Anthony Griffin as a coach.
I think he's made a big mistake. We'll go to David next.
Yeah, it's not ideal it's not an ideal way to treat a product of your club. That's the least I could say about that. I do think he needs to play. I don't know what he does, whether he leaves the club. He has to play for the future of his career. And honestly, he's a future of rugby league. Like, he's one of the generational players, So I think if leaving's the best choice, then that's what he needs to do for his career.
Yeah, it's probably what he'll end up doing. I don't see him getting any game time under Anthony Griffin. And lastly, we'll go to Faraz to finish it off.
Yeah, look, Anthony Griffin, what are you doing? What a way to ruin someone's confidence, especially a youngster. The reason why the Dragons were getting so hard to make the 8 and all that they're going to be smoking was because of these young players. To treat Sloan the way you have, you've given Ramsey 10 chances, but Sloan, he does one bad game and you drop him like that. I mean, yeah, look, I'm pretty pissed off. I feel for Sloan. He should just look for a better club right now. The Dragons are just pissing me off. Their performances haven't been helping. Griffin needs to get sacked.
A lot of passion there from Faraz. That sounds very similar to one of our shorts. But sadly, that's all the time we have here today. Lastly, I'll quickly give my opinion on it. Anthony Griffin, you need to pull your head out. And you just need to you need to give Sloan some game time. You've given Ramsey so many chances, like Faraz said, and not so much to Sloan. But that'll be all we have time for here today on the Final Siren. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel if you feel up to it. The content keeps on coming from us, and we'll see you in the next podcast, which will be the preview of round 12.